Chapter 8. Back home, Joe jolted awake at 2:44 a.m., drenched in sweat. His chest heaved as the remnants of a nightmare clung to him, his mother's death replaying in flashes he couldn't escape. The silence of the house pressed down on him, heavy, suffocating. He sat up, uneasy, his gut whispering that something was wrong, that someone was watching. The bedroom door shattered inward with a violent crack. Splinters flew across the room. Through the wreckage stood a pale figure, unnervingly still, sharp eyes glinting in the moonlight. He wore a fancy vest that somehow made him look both elegant and dangerous. In his hands gleamed something far worse, an iron axe, raised high, swung with terrifying intent. Joe froze, instinct screaming at him. He had no idea who this was. Not a neighbor, not a burglar he recognized. Nothing. The figure felt like a ghost, but alive, real, and lethal. And somehow, just somehow, Joe thought of him as John. A name that slipped from his lips before his mind could protest, a placeholder for the nightmare standing before him because he couldn't wrap his head around anything else. Joe staggered to his feet, panic and instinct colliding. He lunged toward the nearest drawer, yanking it open with trembling hands. Inside, his dagger. The blade hissed against the wood as he snatched it up just in time. Steel met steel with a violent clang. The dagger quaked under the force of the axe, Joe's hands rattling from the impact. His breath caught in his throat. The pale man's strength was inhuman. And then, just as suddenly as he had appeared, he was gone. The pressure lifted. The room fell silent. No footsteps, no breath, nothing. Only the ruined door and the echo of steel still ringing in Joe's ears. Joe stood frozen, dagger still clutched tight, chest rising and falling in uneven gasps. Sleep was no longer possible. He sat awake until dawn, haunted by the thought that now gnawed at him. Maybe his respawn wasn't a gift at all. Maybe it was a curse. The next morning, Joe tried to shake the shadows from his mind. He gathered his team, picking up Barley and Poco, the three of them together for the first time outside Poco's home. Poco hopped into the back seat, cradling his brand-new guitar, still proud of it. But then his gaze landed on Barley, metallic face glowing faintly, voice box humming. Poco blinked, laughed nervously and blurted, "Hey, caramba, the bartender's a robot." Barley gave a polite wave, his tone perfectly flat. "Name's Barley. I serve drinks. What'll it be, sir?" Poco muttered under his breath, eyes wide. "Dios mio, this team is loco." Joe, for once, almost smiled. The team was strange, unlikely, but it was his. Slow Joe's red Jeep screeched to a halt in front of a wrecked, trash-strewn house. Barley and Poco glanced out the windows as Joe cut the engine. Rusted cars sagged against the siding, and crushed soda cans glittered like broken glass across the lawn. Joe stepped out, nostalgia tugging at his chest. He whispered under his breath, "Man, Arnold!" He climbed the porch, knocked on the battered door. No answer. Inside, a TV blared with cartoon voices, laugh tracks spilling through the cracks. Joe knocks. Nothing. Joe knocks again, still no response. The third knock echoed through the house like a warning. By the fourth knock, his patience thinned. "Arnold, open the door!" The door flew open with a bang. Out stumbled Arnold, broken shoes, sticky with soda stains, hair a wild mess. He is a man-child through and through, the kind who never grew up. With an IQ of 22, he was clueless, scatterbrained, dumb as they came. But fast. Lightning fast. So fast people once compared him to a train. His darting eyes flickered with childlike confusion as he squinted at Joe, head tilting, voice high and uncertain. "Joe? Joe who? Oh, are you Joe Banana?" He burst into wheezy laughter at his own joke. Joe sighed, shoulders slumping. "It's me, Joe, from school." Arnold scratched his head, face twisting with sudden realization. "Oh, Joe Mama," and he doubled over, cackling like it was the funniest joke in the universe. From the Jeep, Poco leaned toward Barley and whispered, "Is he serious?" Barley, face unreadable, answered flatly, "IQ of 22, confirmed." Before Joe could say another word, Arnold blurred into motion. 1 second he was standing in the doorway, the next he was circling the group at dizzying speed, feet pounding the dirt. Dust swirled in the air as he shouted, "Zoom, zoom, zoom!" He skidded to a stop inches from Poco's guitar, eyes sparkling with fascination. "Whoa, you play music? Can you play the SpongeBob theme?" Poco clutched his guitar protectively, muttering, "Madre Santa, this fool is rapido." Joe pinched the bridge of his nose. Same Arnold, never changed. Poco tilted his head. "Wait, is he a grown man?" Joe's expression softened. Yeah, he is. Back in school, he had this condition. His parents left him at birth like he was nothing. He was raised by his grandparents, mocked by everyone. But he ran. Running was the only thing that made him feel free. For a moment, Arnold stopped fidgeting. His eyes darted between them, almost shy, as though he understood more than his words ever showed. Joe placed a hand on his shoulder. "Come on, Arnold. We could use you." Arnold beamed, his soda-stained shirt crinkling as he bounced on his heels. "Zoom squad, zoom squad." And just like that, the team was 4 strong. Joe's red Jeep weaved through the highway, engine roaring like a beast. Arnold sat half standing in the back, arms spread wide like wings, yelling, "Woo! I'm faster than this Jeep!" Poco yanked him back by the shirt. "Calmate, niño, you'll get yourself killed." He hugged his guitar tightly, shaking his head. "Why is he even on the team, Joe?" Joe didn't take his eyes off the road. His voice was low, steady. "Because I trust him. That's enough." Barley, perched in the passenger seat, swiveled his metallic head toward Joe. "Trust is statistically unreliable. Define friend." Arnold popped up again, leaning over Poco's shoulder, eyes wide with curiosity. "Yeah, Joe, who's this mystery man? Is he a pirate? Or, a space alien?" Joe exhaled through his nose, gripping the wheel tighter. "He's just a friend. Someone I knew a long time ago." Poco raised a brow. "A friend, after all this? You think friend is enough?" For a moment, the Jeep fell silent, except for Arnold's occasional zoom noises under his breath. Joe spoke again, softer this time. "Sometimes a friend is all you've got." Arnold blinked, then grinned, shouting, "I like friends!" breaking the tension instantly. Barley sighed. "Confirmed. Team morale lowered by 22%. Joe almost smiled. Almost. By mid-afternoon, they pulled up to Brock's apartment. Joe carried the rocket launcher he'd purchased for him. They knocked, and Brock's eyes widened as he peeked out, expecting a squad of hardened mercenaries. Instead, he found the world's most absurd team assembled before him. First out was Barley, the robot bartender, carrying a case of Molotovs. His metal arms clinked as he waved stiffly. "Good afternoon, sir." Brock blinked. "A bartender?" Then Poco jumped out, strumming his new guitar. "Orale, ready to heal the world with music." Brock frowned. "A mariachi?" Finally, Arnold tumbled out, barefoot and covered in crumbs, holding a toy car. "Hi, I'm Arnold! Look, vroom!" He ran in loops. Brock stared at Joe. Then disbelief overtook him, and he burst out laughing. "Bruh, you dead-ass brought me a bartender, a mariachi, and a man-child to go to war. Joe, this ain't a squad. It's a circus." Slow Joe's voice was flat. "That's all I got." Joe handed Brock the rocket launcher. "Go change before the world ends." In his room, Brock stared at the weapon, contemplating. "Is this real, bro?" He gripped it like a mission briefing, slipping into his blue vest, modern sneakers and sunglasses. Determined, he emerged and joined the team. Slow Joe stood at the center of the sunlit living room. The others gathered around. Barley perched stiffly in a chair, Poco tuning his guitar, Arnold spinning in place on the rug, and Brock sprawled on the couch, controller in hand, smirking as always. Joe cleared his throat as the TV flicked on, revealing Slow Morbius in his golden era, strutting beside a mansion, soaking in his own glory. "Listen up. This is Slow Morbius. He's the bad guy. We're going to his mansion." Arnold shot his hand up. "Mansion? Does he have a swimming pool?" Joe sighed. "Not important. What matters are the defenses," Arnold gasped, pointing wildly. "Lasers? Pew, 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 pew." He rolled on the floor, making the sounds himself. Brock burst out laughing. "Bro, is this dude for real? You picked this clown?" Arnold sat up proudly. "I'm fast. Faster than a car. Faster than you." Brock smirked. "Yeah, bet I could smoke you in Fortnite any day." Arnold's jaw dropped. "Fortnite?" He gasped. "I don't even stay up past 8. Poco groaned, muttering softly in Spanish. "Madre mia, este niño otra vez." Joe pushed on, voice firm. "Guards will be waiting, armed guards." Arnold flexed his twig-like arms. "I got arms too." Barley's metallic head swiveled, voice flat. "IQ of 22, irreversible." Brock laughed harder. "Joe, man, your squad's doomed. You got Drunk Bot, Crybaby Mariachi, Discount Flash, and me. We're like the bargain bin Avengers." Joe clenched his fists, ignoring the chaos. "Doesn't matter, we're going in, together." Poco nodded, small smile on his face. "Bueno, we just have to stick together, see? Chaos or not, we can make this work." Arnold jumped to his feet, pumping both fists. "Road trip!" Brock snorted, "More like suicide trip." Barley calmly adjusted a bottle. "Correction, statistically, 4% chance of survival. Optimistic." Joe glared at them all. "We're leaving. Now. Arnold raised his hand, completely serious. Now. Like, before the sun explodes or after? Joe face-palmed.